The devastating wildfires in California, the tragic story of 2025. The wildfires raging across California in January 2025 have left a deep scar on both the land and its people. What started as small blazes in isolated areas soon spiraled into a massive catastrophe, fueled by extreme weather conditions, human activities, and years of environmental mismanagement. This story is not just about the destruction caused by the flames, but also about the resilience of the human spirit, the lessons we need to learn, and the urgent call to action these events demand. The wildfires began with an alarming swiftness. In the early hours of January 3rd, residents of Los Angeles County reported smoke clouds on the horizon. By midday, the situation had escalated, with fire crews responding to multiple fast-moving blazes that were already threatening residential areas. The role of Santa Ana winds. The notorious Santa Ana winds played a crucial role in the rapid spread of the fires. These strong, dry winds, which can reach speeds of up to 70 mph, 112 km/h, acted as an accelerant, carrying embers miles away and igniting new fires faster than emergency crews could respond. As night fell, the entire region was engulfed in an eerie orange glow. Social media was flooded with images and videos of towering flames consuming everything in their path. Residents described the sky as apocalyptic, with thick smoke blotting out the sun during the day and stars at night. The human impact of the fires is immeasurable. With more than 16 confirmed fatalities and thousands displaced, every individual affected has a story to tell. The Martinez family in Ventura County, Henry and Maria Martinez, a retired couple, had lived in their home for over 30 years. When the evacuation order came, they had less than 15 minutes to leave. "We grabbed a few photo albums, our dog, and ran. The flames were already at our doorstep," Henry recounted. Their home, like many others, was reduced to ashes. David Lopez, a firefighter. David, a firefighter with over a decade of experience, shared the emotional toll of battling these fires. "We're not just fighting flames, we're fighting fatigue, fear, and sometimes hopelessness. Every structure we lose feels like a personal failure, even though we know we're doing everything we can." The fires have left an ecological disaster in their wake. Over 500,000 acres of land have been scorched, including vital wildlife habitats and protected forest reserves. Impact on wildlife. Thousands of animals, from deer and coyotes to smaller species like birds and reptiles, have perished or been displaced. Entire ecosystems have been wiped out, and experts warn that some species may never recover. Air quality crisis. The thick smoke has spread far beyond California, affecting air quality in neighboring states. Health officials have issued warnings about the dangers of prolonged exposure, particularly for children, the elderly, and those with respiratory conditions. Despite the heroic efforts of over 10,000 firefighters, the battle has been daunting. Resource limitations. Many fire departments reported shortages of water, equipment, and personnel. Some areas had to wait hours for help as crews were stretched thin. Aerial operations hindered. Smoke and high winds made it nearly impossible for firefighting aircraft to operate effectively, delaying critical water and fire retardant drops. Unpredictable weather. Every time firefighters gained control over one area, shifting winds would ignite new blazes elsewhere. President Joe Biden declared California a federal disaster zone, unlocking additional resources to combat the fires and support recovery efforts. Emergency shelters. Over 100,000 people have been evacuated and relocated to temporary shelters in schools, community centers, and even stadiums. Financial assistance. The federal government has pledged billions of dollars in aid to help rebuild the affected communities. However, many residents worry about how long it will take to see these funds and whether they'll be enough. Wildfires in California are not new, but their frequency and intensity have grown alarmingly in recent years. Experts point to several interconnected factors. Climate change. Rising global temperatures have led to longer, more severe droughts, leaving vegetation dry and highly flammable. California's 2024 was one of its hottest years on record, setting the stage for these devastating fires. Poor forest management. Decades of fire suppression policies have allowed dry vegetation to accumulate, creating an overwhelming amount of fuel for wildfires. Human activity, power lines, campfires, and even deliberate acts of arson have all contributed to the ignition of these fires. In fact, 85% of wildfires in the US are caused by human actions. Amid the devastation, there have been countless stories of hope and community. Neighbor helping neighbor. In one neighborhood, residents formed a convoy to help evacuate elderly neighbors who couldn't drive. "We weren't going to leave anyone behind," said a volunteer. Support from afar. Firefighting teams from across the country and even from other nations arrived to lend their support. Donations pouring in. Celebrities, companies, and ordinary citizens have donated millions of dollars to help victims. Online fundraisers have provided immediate relief to families who lost everything. The 2025 wildfires are a wake-up call. They highlight the urgent need for change at every level. Preventive measures, controlled burns, and better forest management practices can reduce the risk of future fires. Urban planning. Stricter building codes and smarter urban planning can protect communities near forests. Climate action. Reducing greenhouse gas emissions is essential to slowing the progression of climate change and its devastating impacts. Public awareness. Educating people about fire prevention and emergency preparedness can save lives. The wildfires of 2025 are a tragic reminder of nature's power and humanity's vulnerability, but they are also an opportunity to reflect, learn, and act. As we rebuild, we must commit to creating a future where such disasters are less frequent and less devastating. This story is not just about loss, it's about resilience, community, and the fight for a safer, more sustainable world. Let it inspire us all to take action before it's too late.